FunPop. FunPop. FunPop.
He's like, oh my god,
Hey,
Elden Ring. Oh my god.
Hey everybody, what's up? This is FunPop, number 42. Welcome to the show, and we're gonna have a blast today. We're gonna actually see the official unmasking of Master Chief here instead of actually on the Halo TV show, because we have him here right now with his amazing helmet. Shout out to John Spartan 117. Thanks for being here, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. It probably sound like shit, but going pretty good.
Yeah, I can see your 3-monitor badass setup through your visor. And look at the reflection. Look at the visor. It's amazing, dude. Love it.
Yeah.
Pretty badass, bro.
Where's Pong when you need him?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I lost the MP3 file for that. So when I hit the Pong button on my Stream Deck, it doesn't do anything right now. So I need to like search my PC and find it so I can reallocate it to the Stream Deck.
Right on.
But yeah, Jasper got a new toy. He got his helmet. That's the nice one that's people have been really wanting. So that's awesome, dude. Hey, Psycho, what's up, man? Your PC just crashed as we're about to go live, but you're here now. So that's cool.
Yeah. Let's just hope that this son bitch doesn't do it again. I swear to God.
Yeah.
Because daddy can't get another one. Damn graphic cards are hard to find.
Yeah. You can just play. Well, I mean, so you can always stream. And what do you do on your PC? Well, you never mind. I'm gonna ask that. I'm not gonna ask. What do you I mean, do you play games on your PC often or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing I was just what was that, the Total War?
Yeah.
I was playing that. It wasn't like, it was like all low settings. I mean, it's 12 years old. I built it myself.
Yeah.
Back at the 990 FX AMD era.
Right.
So it's so obsolete, even though it's like not that.
That's, dude, you built a good PC. It's lasted 12 years though, man. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I guess if you look at it like that. But I mean, components just go obsolete so quick. It's like, it's so expensive.
Yeah, I hear you. That's, you can buy, like, I bought my PC like 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I think now, or maybe 2. Yeah, 2 years ago. And I feel like it was like expensive. You know, I thought it was good. You know, I asked the guys, is this good? They said, yeah, it's good. I was like, okay. And then I found out, like, okay, like a year later, it's not that great, you know? So, I mean, it plays games fine and stuff, but like it does this good, right? Which is what I need it for. So, but Master Chief has revealed himself. What's up, John? How's it going?
It was so fucking hot in that helmet. It's like I had to delay by like 10 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know how Master Chief does that. I was like fucking sweating in that thing like the first minute I put it on.
There's probably AC vents, you know, it's probably air conditioned.
You think so? You think like Pablo Schreiber's got like a little fan in his helmet when he's going to be on set and stuff?
Yeah, they probably have a fan. There's no way that they're gonna let him
die.
Any of the actors like exert themselves and with heat exhaustion. No way.
Yeah.
So they probably have little fans built in.
Yeah, there's been stories of some of these suits that some of these actors had to wear in the past. So like they just literally can't breathe hardly at all. Speaking of that, we can have a little fun topic about that to begin with. Like, how do you guys feel about the unmasking of Master Chief on the TV show? Because that has been revealed that it's going to happen now. Is that sitting well with you, Jasper? Since you're actually, you know, we know that you are Master Chief now. Like, how do you feel about another Master Chief existing?
It doesn't really bother me too much
Yeah.
because they already said it's in another timeline, so it's like it doesn't really matter. It's its own story at this point, like in the Halo.
Right, kind of detached. It's
Yeah.
so it's not our Master Chief; it's a different Master Chief.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. Okay, I can
Pretty much.
see you can look at it that way, right? What about you, Psycho? Is it gonna upset you when you see Pablo Schreiber's face for the first time as Master Chief?
No, because again, it's an alternate timeline with the TV show, so it's to the video games haven't done it, and to me that's still canon and that stays how it is. It's a TV show. I mean, it's look at Boba Fett, not Boba Fett, the Mandalorian. You know, he took off his helmet. They're not in the Mandalorians are not supposed to. That's their,
Yeah.
the way. This is the way. But that's what they, that's the thing. They never really reveal their masks, but in this case, they did. So things happen. Look at Boba Fett and all. Almost every episode he barely wore his helmet, and it's like he always had it on, and now he had it off this whole almost the entire episodes in the Book of Boba Fett. And it's just like took away from that, but again, when he had it on, that was Boba Fett, so it's the same instance with this. When Master Chief has his helmet on, it's Master Chief. When he has it off, it is what it is. I mean, they could play it off like different things. Like he never revealed his helmet because of something that happened while in cryo sleep, whatever, and that's why we never see his face now. So if this is like the depending where this timeline is, they can play it, play it off like that. But it's not that big.
I think it's different too, because in the game, you're like supposed to be Master Chief, right? So you're supposed to be able to identify yourself as that character, and because it's a first person game, and if you see like somebody else, right, then it can kind of take it out of that feeling that everybody can be Chief, right? A little bit. Like that's kind of what one thing they're going for with that character, and they wanted you to feel like you were. That's why he also doesn't have a lot of lines either. They wanted to have like a lot less dialogue because they wanted it to be everything more impactful from your perspective as the player. And then when the lines came across, they were very like to the point, and I remember them saying like was supposed to say things that we were probably thinking, right?
Finish this fight.
Yeah. Yeah, finish the fight, or things that we think are clever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things that like we would want to have said, right? Like, and I think that the show, you got to watch something it's got to be a great character, like Mandalorian is. Doesn't say much, but when he talks, it's like, okay, like you got a personality there. So the Chief has to have somewhat of a personality to become endearing to the viewer, right, as the main protagonist, right? So it's just two different things. So we'll see how they go with the face. What about you? Welcome to the show, 3-Bit.
Hi.
How's it going, man?
I think it's good. Everything is good.
Just wake up.
No.
Nah, he just got done
I am
teaching a
tired,
class.
Yeah.
Him and Jimmy Neutron been hanging out. It's what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually have my Jimmy Neutron before my class, and I never change it because I think it's funny for this show too. But yeah, I think what you guys are saying about like Master Chief and his origin story about why in the video games he doesn't talk as much. That same thing with Doomslayer. He didn't say much in the originals. He definitely doesn't say much in like Doom Eternal and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the books, he does take off his helmet. To be fair, he does it quite a bit. But for the reason why why him and a lot of Spartans don't take it off is because they say they feel naked without it, without their armor. Like that's like a part of who they are in the books. so they might touch on that in the show, like why he always has it on for the most part, like his armor. But it makes sense for the show. I knew they were going to do that once they announced that Steve Downes isn't voicing the chief.
Yeah.
And the only real reason to do that is because he's taking his helmet off. It wouldn't make sense to have two different voices.
Right.
So
it makes sense too. Yeah.
They did that for Darth Vader.
Well, yeah, true. But I couldn't see it as much with the Halo show.
But it didn't. I mean, it was so obvious when that happened. It's like, this isn't the same guy. You know what I mean? It's like, that doesn't make sense. He didn't sound like that. Like, you're right. Like Steve Downes, for everybody that's been into Halo, is the Master Chief, right? And I don't think this is gonna take that away whatsoever, because we're still gonna enjoy that in itself separately. Right. But because Steve Downes portrays the character that we get to be, right? So we always have that attachment to that. But this is like different. Like, if you want to have like a long, I mean, Steve Downes is an older guy now. He's like, I don't know exactly how old he is, but he's probably like late 60s, early 70s, or somewhere around there. And if you want to have a long running franchise of like Halo and the Master Chief, you can't. It doesn't fit well if you want to show the characters and these 70-year-old man. It doesn't really fit with the timeline of the story and everything. So it would be nice to hear his voice during the show. So that's what I was really concerned about, that because that's what I wasn't really worried about the face thing. I was more worried about what he was going to sound like. Right, how he was going to come across. Right, in the trailer that we saw when we actually got to hear him speak, I was like, concerns are done. Like, I have no more concerns, because he captured that, like I said it many times, like that Eastwood type essence, right? Where you just kind of don't say much. You're very soft spoken, but what you say is to the point and matters, right?
Yeah.
He captured that in that trailer, and I was like, okay, they got it. It's like the Mandalorian vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like that bravado. He just exudes. It was just coming out.
Yeah, that show has bigger concerns for me, like a Chevy Tahoe just driving around. But
right, yeah. I know you guys have issues with the Tahoes and the AK.
I wonder if that's like flashback moments.
And that's 500 years in the future. Chevy Tahoe running around.
Yeah, you know what?
You can't. It's not like supposed to be a Chevy Tahoe, though. It doesn't say Chevy on it. They got rid of the.
It's like the Nokia phones. Yeah. They'll never die.
Now, this is also possibly part of the difference between a TV show budget and a movie budget.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
Like certain things like
I don't
that.
think it's the budget, because you see like some pretty high quality CGI.
We saw some Vespas, guys. Those are just like redesigned Vespas that those kids were riding on in the Mandalorian. No, I'm just kidding.
On the book, yeah. No. The thing with I think with the cars and stuff, like they couldn't put everything like futuristic. They couldn't come like really outside of the Warthog. What other vehicles? Really, you saw some pickups. I mean, it's hard to say exactly.
And they could have like asked Elon, be like, "Hey, can we borrow a Cybertruck for the set?"
Oh God, I'm glad that wasn't even in there. Those things are horrible. Those things are horrible. No, but
yeah.
I mean, budget. I mean, if they pull it off, I mean, if it's a couple seconds, I'm not gonna be like totally upset that I see a Chevy Tahoe on screen. I mean, there's, as long as we get the feel that, and it captures that Halo universe, we feel that at the end of that's for us as the hardcore, that's what matters. That's what we want to see. So
yeah, we'll see. The AK.
I mean, if you see fucking Chief in the back of the Tahoe, like, let's go, like SWAT style, like, all right, yeah, I'll have to call some bullshit on that.
That's what I was worried about, like hearing his voice. Is he just gonna sound like animated, like, hey, you guys, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, hey, Cortana?
Finish the fight.
Hey, baby, let's go. Let's go finish this fight. You know, here by hearing it.
Why do you go? Why do you go to a Canadian accent every time?
I don't know. It starts out one way and it always leads another, man. I don't know. Like, maybe Chief is Canadian. Is he?
Hey,
No, he's
Roundabout.
born on another planet, I think.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah, Canada is another planet. You're right.
So shout out to the chat. I see lots of awesome people here. Casual Gamer, Terry Brown. We got ATL, Bold Alpha Wolfpack, who was hanging out in the stream earlier. Oscar Emilio A. Gonzalez says, well, how about Elden Ring? Such a great score. That is like for this day and age now. Like, it's not very often you get a game that hits those high scores, right? It's sitting at a 97, which is really good. I saw Hyper TTK say Oscar Emilio, and 97 is actually average in Metacritic score list because there are many other games that have higher Metacritic score. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 has also 97 on Metacritic.
I mean, Red Dead 2 was freaking awesome.
Red Dead 2 was maybe my game of the generation last generation.
Yeah. So I mean, you have to compare it to like other Soul-like games. Yeah. So I don't know what those scores were like if they were in 70s, 80s, but I mean, 97 is a fucking phenomenal score, and From Software and I forget whoever the other developer is. They should be proud of what they did, but
yeah, I mean, like I said before, like scores aren't gonna ever be what determines if you like a game or not. It's just gonna be dependent if it's you. But it is kind of like a stamp that it has a general good quality to it, right? That a lot of people are going to enjoy. And this is going to be a game that especially Souls fans are probably going to have up there as it could be their favorite Souls game of all time, like you said. And people that aren't into Souls games, we'll see. Maybe this will open the door. I have FOMO now. I didn't before. Yeah. I was like, I didn't really care too much about it. I was like, okay, I kind of got excited after the last gameplay that I had seen when they had the preview event, right? I was like, okay, this looks pretty cool. Then a couple months went by. I'm like, okay, I'm not really excited because I'm not a huge into Souls games. But now I'm seeing this and like people that I know and I trust, and I'm seeing all these reviews out there, and they're talking a lot about some of the issues and concerns that I had in these reviews, and I'm like, am I gonna be able to not get this game?
I started looking up videos for that today because I don't like Souls game, but and depending on how hard this one, I just don't want to throw my head up against a brick wall like every time I'm trying to fight like a little guy, you know?
Right. See, I played the tech test and I had a fun time with it. And I'm not a huge Soul guy either, but I had more fun in this than I think, what is that? Dark Souls 3?
Right.
That's out for Xbox.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, all of them are. All right.
It's, to me, it felt, it was a good mixture of like RPG, a Souls-like game. It wasn't overly hard, but it wasn't simplistic either.
Right.
Like the normal people had it was a good not chemistry, but a good mechanics all the way around with all with the different enemies, and then the bosses. The bosses are hard, but they're not overly challenging. But I could have been a mini boss, so
yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
I mean,
a main level end level boss. Who knows?
Yeah.
That could be like, I'm gonna stab my eyeballs out. I can't beat this.
Yeah, when you just see this universal praise, man, it's awesome.
Yeah, the world looked really cool. Like I saw him like running around on a horse and stuff, and there's like a caravan of like a giant like carrying like some cage of some enemy in it or something. I don't know. Like it looked really cool, but again, I'm not a big Souls person, so
yeah. But I mean, you got George R.R. Martin that wrote the story and the lore for this. So, I mean, that guy, he made Game of Thrones all from his mind, and that's a phenomenal book series. And they made a great interpretation in a TV show. So, of course, this is going to be praised. Story-wise, it's probably going to be phenomenal.
That was my issue with a lot of the Souls games before, is they didn't really have a story, you know? And I didn't, when I was beating my head against a wall at times, like, it wasn't the fact that it was too difficult. Like, I knew if I kept doing it, I would beat it, right? It's just the fact of, like, I just didn't care enough to keep going. And I got a little sick of the repetitiveness of it and stuff like that. And now this, what's different, like Sekiro started grabbing me a little bit when I was trying it, because it had a little bit of a story to it. And I felt more motivated to do stuff in the game. Like, and I think that this is probably gonna be the strongest for sure.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. From what I heard, like from people that like Sekiro because of story wise, this is the game that you want to pick up. It might turn off like dedicated Souls fans that, you know, that just don't want that story and they just want to go and fight. They might get turned off because of the story, but I mean, if it's good, I mean, I'm all about it. Give me a story, something to really get behind and makes you want to finish the game.
Yeah. I think I know George R.R. Martin, he co-wrote it, and I know they did have to change a lot of what he wrote because he wrote a lot of the universe as human characters, and you know, Souls games aren't really that for the most part. They're like creatures and all different things. But this, every time I see this game, like if you look at one of our older podcasts, I think it was Ultimate, when we were looking at the game first announced, you will see like most of our reactions like from that event till now, because when I first saw it, I thought it looked like trash. Honestly, these are my, I'm just gonna say how I honestly thought. I was just like, oh, this does not look very good. And wow, it's really cool to see like people's reactions over time, because I think it looks super interesting. I like some of the skies and like the glowing tree and stuff in the background, and some of the different environments I've been seeing are beautiful. And I think with some of the reviews, like I just see 10s and 10s and 10s. And I don't really like Souls games, so I'm in the same boat as Jasper, where I'm like, if I buy this game, will I be wasting like 60 something dollars? Like I buy it, like, all right, I heard good things about this game, I play it, and then I'm like, well, I tried and I just wasted like $60. I don't want to do that, but I don't know. It looks really good. I might have to do that again.
Would you play it if it was in Game Pass?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
I think everybody, like, oh my gosh, if they could have gotten this game into Game Pass with the deal and it got those scores and all this hype behind Elden Ring, how many people would be instantly subscribed? Like,
but then the game would be like a 75 not a 97.
You're right though. You're so right. Oh my gosh.
You guys see the Xbox scores compared to the PlayStation score? Again, it's lower, and it makes some
it's not really though
are lower.
Oh, you mean on like games on multiplats? Yeah, multiplats. Yeah. Like it'll be lower on the Xbox side, which I kind of get, because some people review it like it's weird because it'll be the same site, but then they'll review it lower on Xbox side. But
what I find funny, I forget who it was it Fletch? There was somebody it was Gavin Stevens. So he was inquiring like, I'm hearing that Xbox, it's like 43 to 50 FPS drops, as PlayStation it's a steady 60, but we don't know resolution. As Xbox pushes the graphical power, so that's why a lot of times there's more drops on Xbox than there is on PlayStation, because it's at a higher resolution, there's more textures, more assets, so on and so forth. So
you're going to see that keep happening.
Until until
For a
the
while.
VRS and when first party and third party, when they start making games for Series X, S, and PS5 games only, and not back compat to PS4 and Xbox One, we'll then utilize those and see what RDNA2 features that these consoles have. We know about what Xbox has. We're still trying to figure out what PlayStation has, because they still haven't really said anything, because they have their own stuff, custom tools. But yeah, so once that happens, then we'll start seeing we'll see a difference, higher resolution, 60 FPS performance with ray tracing, and down and on. So
it's not even that. It's like even if Xbox has the tools, the way a lot of these developers are doing it they develop on the PlayStation first, port it to the Xbox, so they don't always utilize the features, especially if it's multi-plat. And there's some features that are in the PlayStation that will never fully be utilized because it'll be multi-plat. And it works the same way around for the Xbox, unfortunately. But the benefit of Xbox having all these studios is that a lot of the studios will take advantage of VRS and all the feature cycle just mentioned. And those are the ones where we want to look for jumps in technology, like in Hellblade, or maybe Redfall and some other games coming up.
Now I see 3-bit like games that are going to be like PC centric. You will see that there will be a difference when it comes out, because you're not building it for console, you're building it for PC. And as Xbox has more of the tool sets with
for sure
PC features, that it's an easier port than the work that they have to put into for the PS5 side.
Yeah, I don't know about any
that's
of
a
this
good
shit.
point. That's a good point.
Yeah,
I know. I mean,
it's
it's
confusing. But
also, there may be like a day one patch to Elden Ring to fix that, and also there's probably like a performance or a quality mode, I'm assuming, in that too.
Yeah, they said there was a day one patch, which is why Digital Foundry isn't reporting on it.
We'll know more when Digital Foundry does their breakdown and everybody goes and analyzes that, and they have this video and they have all these talking points.
And they see that Xbox has 1 FPS drop, and it's like, see, told you the game's garbage.
Yeah, you'll see that. You'll see like somebody take this one little like clip of this one place where there's like 50 enemies and like all this shit going on the screen, and like it dropped 2 frames, and then clip that and then show another area on a PlayStation where it's running at 60 and they're like in an open field with nothing around them, and they're like, see, it's better. And theirs is running at 1440 and ours is running at 4K on the Xbox, and
they usually forget to mention.
But here's the thing about the multiplats too, like as far as reviews go, what's weird is I remember this game specifically, Scarlet Nexus, right? It had Xbox marketing all the way, right? The reviews that came out, there's way more reviews on the PlayStation version than there is on the Xbox, right? So even on a game that had Xbox marketing behind it, the dev team and whoever was in charge of that shipped out mostly PlayStation copies for review, right? So that's still crazy to me on like a game like that, right? Like,
sure, people also ask for certain console codes too.
Yeah, that's true, right? But you have like on a game that has marketing behind it, you should just like, I don't know.
Happens with a lot of games.
But
like MLB, it was a lower score on the Xbox side, despite like being the same game.
But like a lot of it could be that they had like, what console do you want? What code do you want? And if a majority of the industry, if they say, well, we only have PlayStation fanboys, PlayStation codes, and then that's all they give them, that's unfortunate until we see a shift in the media that says, hey, let's not be one-sided, let's be neutral, let's make this fair, like how it should be, because this is not the Xbox One era. 360 PS and the PS3, none of this in the media was really that bad. It was pretty much down the middle when it came to multiplats. There, to me, I think there was like, they were like, okay, on the 360 it ran a little bit better,
Well,
but on
Digital
PlayStation,
Foundry changed all that, right? With their YouTube videos when they started directly, because before that, nobody was really directly comparing and had the evidence to be able to see.
well,
So people didn't really know, but then when you put the visual proof out there, it starts those arguments, right?
well,
And
the media themselves, they weren't really doing that back then. The
yeah,
360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, that's when we saw that shift, and we're like, what the fuck is going on? And it was just odd.
but it all
And
started
then,
with Xbox One 900p, right? As opposed to like
yeah,
the
1080p.
PS4 1080p, right? And stuff
Yeah.
like that with a lot of the games and things. But it is what it is. Ultimately, like, I think this game's going to be great on both platforms, and I haven't really seen any of these reviews say otherwise so far. So I'm not really concerned about that whatsoever.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of reviews. Like I've seen the reviews revolve around the world and the combat, and I haven't seen any review mention the performance so far.
Yeah, I haven't
But
seen
to
people
be
say buy it on
fair,
PlayStation.
to be fair, I haven't seen like all the reviews that I saw with Horizon. I haven't seen them talk about that performance either, and or any of the technical hiccups. And then
Right.
later, I saw those things pop up.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, but I forget who it was. Miles Dampier. He came out and said, "Hey, I reviewed it on Xbox. He had no NDNA, and he's like, there was some dips, but I have VRR on my TV, and I didn't even notice it." He's
Yeah.
like, maybe a fraction, but so I would not worry about it. More than likely, there'll be a day one patch, like Jasper was saying, and it could address a lot of the issues that we are not hearing in the public, except for behind the scenes. So we'll see.
Shout out to everybody in the chat again. I see Dragonheart Yobi TV was hanging out. Dealer Gaming, what's up, Dealer? Thanks for coming out, bro. Let's see, we got 3-bit in there. ATL, Shizno Elite, Back from Dead, what's up? JB Studios, what's up? Thank you all, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with us. All right, so let's get into some of this other stuff, guys. Now, like you saw in the thumbnail, like, I'd be honest, there's not a whole lot of news right now, like going on with like movies and TV shows. There's like a little bit here and there. Yeah. And I was thinking about like Gotham. For some reason, because I'm anticipating Gotham Knights so much, right? It's like on my radar. It's one of my most anticipated games of the year. It was supposed to release last year. It was delayed into 2022. So I was trying to dig around. I was like, okay, what's the latest info? Is there any new like information? Do we have a targeted release window? Do we have any new gameplay? Do we have anything? So I went and checked the Twitter account. Their official Twitter account hasn't tweeted since mid-December. That's from the official Twitter account from the game. That's like a few months away now. Like, and we haven't gotten even a hint of when to expect it this year, right? And I was going through even like all the news articles and all these things covering Gotham Knights, like everything you need to know about Gotham Knights and all this stuff. It's like there's no new information whatsoever. And it started to make me think, do we have anything to be potentially concerned about? Because a lot of this kind of seemed to happen with the delay and stuff originally, like after that merger was announced with WB Discovery. And supposedly they're working on another game over at Monolith as well. So I don't know. Sorry, is it WB Montreal? WB Montreal. My bad. Yeah. Yeah, WB Montreal. Yeah, so they're working on another game as well. That is unannounced currently. And I'm wondering if there's like anything going on with the Gotham Knights that we should be like thinking about. Like, I expected at this point, because of the delay, to at least have an idea on when we can expect this game. 3-bit, I know you were excited about this, right? Because it has co-op and it's our kind of style game. Like, are you starting to get a little concerned about one of our most anticipated games for 2022?
No, I still think it'll be good. I think with the development, like in terms of what I've seen so far from the game, I'm still excited for it. I'm kind of any delay, any type of development woes with it. I haven't heard like you're saying, I haven't heard anything about it. Like, is it still supposed to come out this year?
I guess that's what they said. You know, like again, like they're
it's only February, so we still got 10 months.
We still got 10 months. We still got 10 months.
Yeah, so maybe they'll wait till like E3 or something, or announce it as a Game Pass, or maybe they're just waiting. Because I know WB is in like a weird spot in terms of like, oh, we want to sell our rights, or no, actually we don't. I don't know. They're in a weird spot right now. I think they're just gonna wait till like an event. I know they released more Gotham Knights. I think the last time they released information was at their DC like fandom event.
Yeah,
right?
fandom. Yeah.
So they're probably gonna do the same thing and wait again, maybe till like an Xbox showcase or something like that later this year. Get people like re-hyped for it, because sometimes developers need to do that, or studios need to do that. They work on a game for a while, they release some information about it, they go dark for a little bit, and then all of a sudden they're like, hello, we're still here, we come out in like 3 months. So
yeah
I
mean, it exactly kind of hit it. I think you hit it right on the nose, because of what happened with this whole merger with Warner Brothers and Discovery. So I think their games department is just sit on the back burner, still making the game, but really can't. I don't think they're ready to come out and say anything, because if something happens, like we're seeing now, the Lord of the Ring IPs are being up for sale. So what else is going on? You know, our video game departments, are they going to be the same way? Do they not know? So are they not saying anything? So if someone does acquire them, they can't say and try to backtrack what they said. Oh, it's coming on Xbox, PS5, and it's going to be, let's say, if Xbox picks them up, is it going to be exclusive Xbox only? Things like that. So I think that's why they're being hush-hush right now, and they haven't really come out and said anything. So I
have a feeling there's a lot of stuff happening around them.
Right.
Like they're still working on the game, but I have a feeling there's a lot of stuff happening.
Also, if someone's buying them or like in the process of buying them, you don't want to just like, you know, throw out like, and this is what, like throw out random ideas of like, this is coming to this platform or this platform. So it's like,
yeah.
Or even if the game gets, unless or the game changes, because whoever buys them is like, I don't like where the route of this game is going. We need to change it.
So that's where I was kind of coming from, because like, you know, as a live service type game, like I was concerned about them and thinking about the cost of this going forward potentially, right? If that maybe was a concern and maybe had them like thinking to shift focus, you know. But that was just a, like, if you look into it, like they say it's coming out this year. I'm just as somebody that was like, yeah, I mean, you can see all my Batman shit and stuff behind me, right? I'm like super into all this stuff. Like I love those kind of games, and thinking of being able to play this co-op game and be doing all these like stealth takedowns and all this shit with my friends and stuff just sounds badass, right? So it's something I was expecting last year. I was just curious where the information is about what window is coming, right? That's all I kind of want to know. And we kind of had this last year with Halo Infinite, right? Because remember, they delayed Halo, and for like a long time, we had no idea when it was delayed until about this time, I think around then, they said, well, it's coming out later in the year.
They didn't even give like a release date till like a month before the game came out, and then they surprise dropped the multiplayer. So
I don't remember. At one point, they said holiday. At some point, they said holiday, and it was like everybody's like, oh, okay.
I think that was E3. E3 was holiday.
Right. So we had to wait till E3 till we found out. So do we think Gotham Knights may be a holiday release then? And
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm thinking they'll wait till an event.
Yeah. And again, if they're being acquired or whatever is going on at Warner Brothers Games, we don't know. And until if it's an acquisition or if it's a some kind of merger or something, we won't hear nothing.
Yeah.
And maybe because we saw the DC of fandom and they only talked about what is it, Death to the Justice League, Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
We only heard about that. We're supposed to get Gotham Knights too now, and we didn't get really.
Did they show? I don't remember
event.
if they showed Gotham Knights at DC fandom or not.
That's
I
it
think
was
they
supposed
did,
to be.
I think they showed like a
Was it a new
Didn't they show
trailer?
the Secret Owl Society or
The
whatever?
Court
Like,
of
and they,
Owls.
like, go in
Yes,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Court
yeah.
of Owls.
Okay, that was a new trailer, right?
Yeah, so that's like the extent of what they have talked about. So either something's happening, and they just can't say anything right now. But again, we don't know.
And with Hogwarts, well, Shizno was saying in the chat like they haven't said anything with that, but I think that's more so because of the controversy, but if you were to pair all the games, they're really not saying much about a lot of them. So
yeah, Injustice 3.
my guess.
I mean, also, like, to be fair, like, if this game's like, it would be a perfect like October game, I think. But like, even if it's like later in the year, like they're not going to start showing stuff like now. Like they may like show like a random like small trailer, but they're not going to start marketing this game heavy because it's not a AAA game; it's a AA game. So it's like.
But I want to be comforted as a fan.
Yeah, I double AA games, they don't have the benefit of a long
have a year-long
campaign.
marketing.
Yeah. So let's say it releases like October.
Yeah,
they'll probably have like 3-4 months before start marketing it. I mean, it's like you can think about it like
don't know when it's coming
too.
out. Maybe,
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe they're waiting to announce a release date until they actually are like, okay, we're pretty concrete on this, right? Like, it could be.
Yeah, it's possible.
I think it's either December or like late summer. Like,
yeah. You think late summer, like August,
fall,
September?
Yeah.
Yeah, a fall, September, good time, because you don't want to go too far. You don't want to go into November. You don't want to go into December of this year, because November, December, because that's when we got
Starfield
and
11th,
and God of War is that around that. It's going to be around that time, either November, December for God of War.
God of War is
it's supposed to be to this year, but
it'll be this year. I think it'll be this year.
Delay till March or February.
No, I'm pretty sure it'll hit this year. I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna give them that.
You don't want Gotham Knights to go up against those two titles.
No, but also if you're Xbox, do you want Redfall to go against Gotham Knights, right? Because it's a very similar type of concept where it's a co-op.
One's in Game Pass and one's not. So,
well, my theory.
Again, you have more
fun speculation here, right?
Everything's in Game Pass for you.
Now hold on, I had
you're a Game.
You're in Game Pass. I put it all together before, like I laid it out. Yeah, I did. I'm not saying I never thought Elden Ring was coming to Game Pass. I never thought a lot of these games that other people said are coming to Game Pass coming to Game Pass. But what I did say was there is a bit of like a relationship kind of between WB and Xbox, right? And we see like a lot of the executives like from WB are working at Xbox now and all those kind of things, right? And for me, I'm looking at key big games that Microsoft would really want to get behind that are out there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing is everybody's like, Microsoft needs the superhero game. Xbox needs the superhero game. All this stuff, right? So Rocksteady has Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. I don't think you're going to get that one. Okay. I think that one is the next big Rocksteady game. I think it's going to be too expensive to get that as the Game Pass game. But Gotham Knights is kind of like their, like, I would consider like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League and then Gotham Knights right below that. Okay. So if you're Microsoft and you're like, okay, we need to get a superhero game, I would say that Gotham Knights is more obtainable probably for something like Game Pass, because it also fits that model of what that game is really well. Secondly, I think that the co-op multiplayer aspect is something that Microsoft always goes for, right? With their Game Pass, is like it's something that can stay in there and build up over time. So I have a feeling if there are going to get some big time third party games in Game Pass later this year, Gotham Knights could be one of them. But unless it's going to fall like right around the same release time as Redfall, right?
Well,
Because I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, because we had summer of 2022 for Redfall, and we're speculating Gotham Knights is end of summer, mid fall possibly. So if it's similar, I could see possibly having Redfall be delayed over Gotham Knights because it's their game and they could do that, just to give it time to be, if it is coming in Game Pass, give it time to live and then release that for the next month. If it's like, let's say September is Gotham Knights, then you have an October release, because you got nothing in October that I know of, and then November is your Starfield. So that'd be a nice 3 months there at the end of the year, because December, do you really need to have something launched with Starfield being there? Because it's one of those games that it's going to be.
I just
longer
feel like
than a month.
Redfall though and Gotham Knights are different enough that you could release them like a couple weeks apart. Like,
think so?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, because if it's not a long game, a 2 week.
Because I think Redfall is going to be a little shorter but grindier, and like Gotham Knights is going to be more like Arkham, where it's like kind of like you can play it mostly single player focused, but if you want to have like someone jump in, you can.
That's the way I would play it, because I'd be freaking Red Hood right there.
Yeah. I don't know who are y'all gonna pick?
Red Hood.
Well, I know you.
Was it
well, he's
Nightwing?
Red
It's
Hood?
Robin, Red Hood,
Batgirl.
what's the
Nightwing.
dark
Batgirl?
the freaking
Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood,
and that was Nightwing, Red Hood, Batgirl, and one other one.
Robin.
Oh, did I just say Robin? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Yes, those are the 4.
Is there,
okay.
Is there anybody else?
I have a
No,
feeling
just those 4.
probably
if you
DLC
beat the
figures.
game or later in the game, you may unlock Batman, because I don't think he's actually dead.
Shh, that's for speculation town.
Yeah, that's some fun. That's what it's. You know what? It's always fun to speculate here on Fun Speculation. Welcome to the Speculation Nation, everybody.
And I don't know. I don't. It's weird. I don't want to play as Batman.
You don't want to play as Batman?
No.
Why?
I mean,
What's wrong with Batman? What if they have? Here we go. What if they have Robert Pattinson's Batman for you?
Then yeah.
Then
Okay.
Just pretend like that don't exist.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like they have a whole game like the Arkham series, and I think what makes this kind of unique is it's focusing on the other characters,
Yeah.
That like normally don't get as much attention, and like Nightwing, and Red Hood, they're awesome
DLC.
characters.
They're gonna sell shit in this game.
It could be like cool DLC.
Imagine
sure.
Catwoman.
That'd be cool.
A DLC
She was
pack
a
that
playable
has
character in Arkham.
Yeah, and she actually played pretty well. Like her moveset was pretty awesome. So
yeah, I'm thinking Batgirl just so you can like glide around the city. Like the other ones, like I feel like they're just gonna have to be like jumping around. Like I think Batgirl might be the only one.
I guess Nightwing could use his little like rope thing.
Yeah, you just have to see how their abilities like work for the city. Like that's how I'll decide who I choose.
How they get around.
And
stuff. Do you guys know, like I've seen like certain trailers of it, like the first trailer where they were like running on top of that like snowy mountain thing. Is it like open world, sort of like an Arkham City?
I think it's just like Arkham pretty much.
It's like more, I think it's more open than that. Like, because you're going to have like random stuff happening as well as the story, right? So you're going to be able to keep playing this game. I don't think you're just going to go through the story and it's done kind of like with Arkham. I think it's more like where there's going to be ongoing stuff after the fact, right? As well, like events and time things.
It's probably going to be like an open world with a linear story path. You know, you have to go through the story. It's these sets of events, that pretty much is like a linear path, kind of like Horizon for Zero Dawn, just like that, how it's kind of open worldish, but to progress in the story, it's kind of like as
the third Arkham was kind of like that, where like it would lock each island down. Like you had to like do a bunch of stuff on one island, and then you could go to the next one and stuff like that.
You remember there was like damage markers above these enemies' heads and stuff when you're hitting it and stuff, and I think like it has a very RPG grindy aspect to it.
Yeah, I wonder which route they're gonna take. Because I guess I hope they don't go the Avengers route where it's just like a select.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was afraid of. I didn't want anyone to bring that up because
I didn't even think about that.
I'm like, la, that's not gonna happen.
Avengers.
The interesting.
Hey, I gave that game a chance. More like no one can say I didn't give that game a chance.
Yeah, just no one wanted to play with you. They made you buy it. And...
No, that was me. That was me. They did that to me. Hey, look. Hey, Psycho. Wait, let's buy it.
We did eventually play it, and you deleted. Okay.
You guys, we played it one time, and then poof, and then here's 3-bit offline. Oh, I beat the game, son of a bitch.
No, I played a little bit with Jasper. Right, I played the DLC with Jasper. It did take time though. Like you are right. Like we did abandon it for a second because I was like, wow, this game is hard to love. But we eventually came back once the DLC, the Black Panther DLC came out, and that was rough. That was really rough. Me, Mav, Jasper got stuck on the last mission. For those who don't know, it was like the boss, right? Like we all was like facing the boss in Avengers, and then we were having a pretty good flow. We're like, all right, this is not bad. It's okay. I don't. And as soon as I was starting to like, okay, this is not bad, we all got stuck in a glitch, and it was like unbeatable. Like he put
it froze your character and you couldn't move.
Yeah, we all was like frozen, like down on the ground, and then the boss is just like hitting us, like, and we couldn't do anything. So we rebooted. We gave it another shot. We were like, okay, well, maybe it was just a random glitch, whatever. We did it again, got the same glitch. So
that is horrible.
Yeah,
I'm glad I did not. I'm glad I stopped playing it because that would have pissed me off.
I think me and Jasper eventually.
Yeah, we came back like a couple weeks later and we glitched again, but then we reloaded and it finally worked.
I never did it. I was too pissed off and stubborn to go back and finish it. That just was ridiculous because I tried it again. I had tried it again, and like it just kept doing the same thing. It was like, screw it. I just never again. That game was so fucking like such a disappointment. Like the story was great, but everything else about it sucked ass. And maybe that's why this was delayed, because they didn't want it to suck ass like Avengers did.
I mean, they could have seen that and be like, "Oh shit,
that's why a lot of people delay.
We need to work on this, polish that. We need to make this."
Yeah. But hey, you know what, guys? We built this game. We might want it to be successful, so we need to make sure we load it with stuff in it, and it can't suck ass. That's just the two qualifications we need for release. When can we get this game done by? I don't know, boss. All right, we're gonna delay it till you can tell me when it's not gonna suck ass and when it's gonna have stuff in it.
Okay.
All right.
Don't pull a square. Don't pull a square.
All right. So yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't suck ass, and I hope that it's gonna be amazing because it looks great. It does really look great.
I'm more excited for this than the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah, me too. But the one weird thing about this is it is only 2-player co-op, so that kind of does also take me away from the fact that maybe it is not going to be a live service thing that's going to last a long time. I kind of want it to be that because I want that in a DC world, right? Like, but done right, not like Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I think if they did it with Gotham Knights, like they got even just the name Gotham Knights, you could add so much to it over time. Like it could be
But
really
I could see that
badass.
more with Suicide Squad
Yeah.
though. That's like
Yeah.
I could see them doing that more with Suicide Squad, just
But-
based on the marketing material. Like, is like, yeah, 4 people, you know, maybe skins for like Harley Quinn and like different levels. And for Gotham Knights, I see the route they're going is more story focused, like just
Yeah, I
based
feel
on
like
what I saw.
Suicide Squad more casual. Like you can just jump in, have fun, shoot some random people, and then kind of hop out.
That game
Yeah.
looks like Sunset Overdrive to me, but like DC.
Ooh, that's a good comparison. Wow.
Yeah.
I loved Sunset Overdrive. That's a shame that that's never gonna get updated.
No, it is, but for PS5 only. No, they already talked about they're getting an updated version of that. So it's gonna be whatever.
That's gonna be
1080p.
really petty if they just
There'll be
only
a sequel
update
eventually, probably on a PlayStation,
Yeah.
because Drew Murray's
Yeah.
over there, and that's kind of like his baby. You know, this.
That's-
But
that's-
Insomniac has to be so busy right now. They're making Wolverine, Spider-Man.
They're basically
that.
the
Why-
superhero studio right now. Like,
And
they
that's
are
why
only
Drew
making-
Murray went back there, is to keep that ship steering straight. He finished the initiative and he was like, okay,
Yeah.
I did what I needed to do. You guys on a good course. Insomniac, hey, we kind of need you. We got like 15 things trying to save Sony. Let's go. And he went over there.
Do you think that was the plan all along, to bring Drew Murray in, to kind of have him be like, okay, you're gonna like build what the core concepts are for this game,
Yes.
the main tech and the base of what it's going to be, and then we're gonna you can whisk away and go back to Insomniac, and then we're gonna bring in Crystal Dynamics to build your creation? Like, it's how it went down, but it's kind of crazy to think if that was a plan.
No, what he built, he helped steer the actual team.
Yeah.
The game, I don't think he had any intellectual input with the game itself, but he had the team, the core, like, this is what we need to implement with this. He set the foundations for the initiative.
I don't know,
And
man, because remember his daughter
following
was playing it, and he's like, yeah, my daughter played my new game, you know, and she's like, she's loving it. Like, I think he had a lot to do with putting that game together, like, as far as what the core concepts are. But I agree, like the whole package, the team, the everything. But Daryl Gallagher also is very responsible for that aspect,
Yeah,
because he's the one that actually brought Drew Murray in the first place. So
I see it happen a lot. Like, even at the different studios I've worked at, I've seen people just come in just for a little bit. They are a major addition to the team. Then they are just like, okay, bye. And to me, that's a weird concept, but the developers leave all the time. They constantly, some developers are just like studio hoppers, is what I call them. They literally are jumping from studio to studio just because maybe it's more convenient for them. Maybe some are closer to where they live. Maybe some pays more. Maybe, there's a lot of different reasons of why, but it's super common for developers to just constantly change to different studios, especially with a lot of these studios nowadays. They're contract based anyways, so it's not always protected, which is not the best. Like, everyone who worked on Last of Us 2, not everyone, but a large percentage of the people who worked on Last of Us 2 are not even at that studio. They're just contracted out, and those same developers are at the initiative, a lot of developers who worked on Last of Us 2 are at the initiative. Some are at like Obsidian and some other studios, and they're just jumping. They're just jumping around. There's no loyalty when it comes to like studios, and it's just your job.
Make a game, see what's else out there. That's what happens. That's what we see all the time. That's why we hear something 3-4 years later when the game's out and they moved on. I mean, it's not new. It's been happening for decades. We just haven't heard as much about it because it's social media. Everyone's like, hey, I'm over here now. And it's like,
we're seeing it a lot more.
Because
like, people announce it on like their Twitter, like, hey, I left Insomniac today, but I'm joining this company, so maybe we're just seeing it a lot more, but it's super, super common.
Yeah, sure. Well, you guys have talked me off my ledge. I think everything's gonna be okay. I'm still, I guess that, they came out and said it's still hitting in 2022. But you guys have also kind of changed my perspective of what this game actually might be. Because when I see it, I see live service superhero game with lots of potential for the future. But what they're saying, and maybe what you guys are saying, is it seems more of like just you're gonna beat it and then be done with it.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I thought of what it was, but
yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of want to watch more gameplay of it, to be honest, because it's been a while since I've seen it. But yeah, that's kind of how I see Gotham Knights. I don't see Suicide Squad like that. I feel like you're gonna be paying a lot of different monetizations for skins and
see,
stuff.
I had it reversed, right? Because I come from where like what the Rocksteady games have always been. And I was thinking, okay, they're going to be that, but Suicide Squad.
Yeah. But do you know how many Batman skins there was in the Rocksteady games? Holy shit. There was the 89 classic Batman. There was the, George Clooney nipple Batman. There was the 1964 Adam West Batman.
And you could buy the side characters too. You could buy Catwoman and stuff.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm taking it is like, I feel like Rocksteady and what is it? WB, whoever makes the Gotham Knights, I feel like they just like traded their games. They're like, okay, we'll make your game this time and you'll make our game this time. Like, that's what I feel like it is.
Because Rocksteady doesn't normally make those type of games.
It's funny weird that you said that, Jasper, because actually before WB Montreal was supposed to be making a Suicide Squad game. Mm-hmm. And that's what was all out there. And supposedly that game got canned. And then they started making Gotham Knights, and then Rocksteady is now making the WB.
Yeah, that's what me and you were saying, Mav. Like they were like, here, I got this game. Let's swap.
Yeah. That's the way it almost sees it. If you look at like on the wiki on all this shit, like with those games, it's just really weird like how it went, because it's been a long time since we've gotten a Rocksteady game. So that's what kind of prompted me to start looking into it. Like why has it been so long? Because before that we'd gotten a pretty regular cadence from them. And maybe they've been working on tech too. Arkham Knight was their last game.
Yeah.
I mean, they used Unreal Engine for most of their stuff, but I'm sure they have a lot of internal tools for sure for like Batman and like that, like, because I remember seeing a documentary on Batman and Arkham Asylum and how they spent like months and months just working on the physics for the cape, which turned out great. And now they can like reuse it and do stuff like that. But
that's a smart thing.
Yeah.
And
for the love of God, can they please update the whole Markham trilogy for next-gen consoles?
Right. I think there's a reason why we have not seen that yet. I think we have not seen the next-gen update. Either they're doing a remaster, or
didn't they make an Xbox One version of the old ones and sell it in like a 3-pack?
Yes.
No.
They made so many collection versions, but never.
Yeah, I think they put like they made an Xbox One version.
Yeah, there's an Arkham
and put it in a 3-pack.
Yeah, there's a 3-pack.
Yeah. I think I bought it like 5 times.
But like that's the one I want them to update. Take that 3-pack and update it for next gen console.
Yeah, unless they can't, because they, the whole back compat team, they're pretty much like, what we can do, we're done. We can't do anymore what we're allowed to do. But once this whole Activision goes through, we got all the Call of Duties. Imagine like Call of Duty 2 remastered, all the Call of Duty 4. Oh yeah,
all the Call of Duty games and Game
They
Pass
remastered Call of Duty 4 a couple years ago.
Yeah,
then to Game Pass.
Modern Warfare 2, they haven't.
But they did the campaign. They just didn't do multiplayer.
But regardless, though, like this would be on. This wouldn't be on Xbox. This would be on, Rocksteady and WB to get this done, right? Like, so
unless they're being paid off, they're going to be acquired by somebody, and that's why they haven't done shit.
Well, yeah, or they don't want to use any resources towards it. Like, I don't know. I feel like people would even be willing to pay for a remaster version of that game, right? Like,
Arkham games were phenomenal.
They still look incredible.
if they came out, yeah, I mean, for being 900p, if they came out and said, hey, $40 for the remake of all 3 games, people can be like, oh,
To be
okay.
honest, I don't know if I would play that because those games are so fucking long and like there's so much to
Right.
play. Like I don't. I'll be
You
like,
think that's
But
part
the
of it is too
Arkham games
big?
they're the only
I
games
know-
I 100%ed. Like
Really?
like
they did the same thing
freaking
for
love
Ezio collection. I'm like, I love Ezio, but like I'm not playing an 80-hour game 3 times.
Like,
I mean, Mass Effect, I mean, they
I did do that for Mass Effect, but that was so old.
we had to wait a long time for that too, though. I
Yeah.
mean, shit. Like, if we have to wait that long for, like, I feel like that original trilogy is gonna still be relevant for a long time. You know, as far as like remembering, hey, remember those 3 Arkham games? You know, they came out like 20 years ago. Holy shit, those were amazing. Maybe we'll remaster them then. You know, on whatever we're playing on in the future. I don't know. I just want 60 frames on them. You know, I want 4K. I want to
That would
play
be
Arkham Knight at 4K 60, please, without that stupid film grainy shit that's all over it right now. You know,
it's
like,
still like all 3 games, like for its time when it came out, were absolutely beautiful. And was ahead of its time on the Unreal Engine for sure. I think they made PC versions for all 3 of them, and I'm pretty sure they're 4K, it's like 60. So I think they can do it. It's just a matter of
maybe that's
I don't know.
I need to
Resource.
get a
It has to be
3090.
resources. Well, I never played it on PC, but like it shouldn't be too hard for them to do a patch or something. I think it's just resources. Because which teams do they have? They're working on Lego Star
That's
Wars.
Telltale, or
Isn't
not
that
Telltale,
underneath Warner Brothers though?
Yeah.
They have that
Telltale.
team. They have Rocksteady working on Suicide Squad, and then they have is it the Montreal team working on
Gotham
Knights?
Yeah.
And are those? Oh yeah, and then who's working on Hogwarts then?
Is that Monolith?
Which is that Monolith?
Maybe. And I think it's Traveler's Tale, not Telltale. It's the Lego
It's
one.
Traveler's Tale.
Traveler's Tale.
Yeah, I knew it was a TT and it's something with tail.
So I guess those are all the companies working on all the games right now. So they're kind of stretched.
Oh, Avalanche Software.
Oh, Avalanche. I forgot about Avalanche. Okay. Avalanche is Warner Brothers, I guess.
Well, that's a different Avalanche.
There's another Avalanche?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
So there's the Avalanche that works on like Just Cause, and then there's another Avalanche?
Yes, there's 2 Avalanches.
Avalanche that's working on Contraband, and Avalanche that does Just Cause.
Okay.
No, this is the Avalanche. This is the same Avalanche. I guess it's published by WB. So.
Wait, so it's the same Avalanche?
Yeah.
That work? Okay.
That's working on.
That works on Just Cause.
Contraband, Just Cause, all that. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, they're the same. Then what's the other?
It's Avalanche Studios. They're made up of multiple studios. This Avalanche Studios, I think it is. Shit, I don't know. I'm so confused.
I'm confused.
I get confused
Son of
with the
a bitch.
Avalanches.
Well, Jasper's like, I'm
I'm
out.
out.
I can't understand how many avalanches there are in the world.
Okay, so Avalanche Studios Group. They make Second Extinction. Yeah, they made Max Payne. Same Avalanche. This is just, I guess, published by WB. So they must have outsourced it to Avalanche, or I don't know. Fuck. That's what it says. That's what it says is making it.
Interesting.
Hogwarts Legacy developers, Avalanche. Wait, no.
I'm
okay, hold on.
freaking-
It is a different Avalanche. The
Okay,
problem is when you click on the link, and this is Bing, so this is Microsoft's fault. When you click on the link, it takes you to the other Avalanche. It's Avalanche Software, not Avalanche Studios.
Okay. See, I knew there was 2. I forgot.
Yes.
Okay, so
Okay.
Avalanche Software is making Hogwarts, and Avalanche Studios is making.
Yeah, one of them needs to change their fucking name. This is stupid.
They're like, you change your name.
No,
you change your name. It's gonna be
like name like Flood instead of Avalanche, or like I don't know, like name it like Tundra. I don't know. Think of something that just stop getting confused. I'm trying to think of stuff that has to do with like storm or snow or ice or some shit. I don't know. One of them needs to change their name. And it needs to be the Avalanche software.
Snowfall.
Yeah. And Monolith, I don't even know what they're working on right now.
They're making a game. They're working on a game. They just announced a couple months ago.
Oh,
Remember?
they did. Oh yeah. They had like concept art for it or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dang, what was that called?
With the Nemesis engine.
Also, they're using the Nemesis engine from WB Montreal.
Yeah.
Or was Monolith?
Yeah,
wait, was Monolith the? I'm so confused. Is Monolith the ones that made the Lord of the Rings games?
Yes.
Okay, right. So it's their engine. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're making a new Nemesis engine game.
Sean said they were making Wonder Woman.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's
Wonder Woman. Yeah, thank you.
But
appreciate it.
I knew it was something.
Can you like write this down? They're working on a lot of games, and I can understand why they're not going to work on a remaster. They're working on freaking Wonder Woman, the Gotham Knights, Suicide Squad, Harry Potter, the Lego Star Wars games, and what am I forgetting? I think and the Wonder Woman.
Hogwarts.
If I didn't already. Yeah, I said that.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
Man,
pretty much
and
that we know of. That we know of,
and I'm pretty sure I was talking about another game that they are doing concept. I've seen concept art for, and someone. I'll just have to find it on my Twitter somewhere. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're working on a lot, quite a lot. What about making the Hulk game? Casual Gamer says.
That'd be good.
The last Hulk game we got was Ultimate Destruction.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
that was
my
on
boss actually wrote that.
PS2, I think.
Yeah, that game was awesome.
The last game I had was the Incredible Hulk for the Sega Saturn.
Oh dang!
That's the last one I had.
The 2000 version, like the 2000 movies version with
no, this
who's the
straight.
guy? Who's the guy before Edward Norton? It was like
Eric Bana.
Yeah, which
he was really good actually. I liked him in that.
He was better than Edward Norton. And
Yeah.
if everyone in chat says otherwise, you can fight me. I don't care. Edward Norton was not a good Incredible Hulk.
No.
At all.
Well, here's the thing. I don't like who's the new Hulk? What's his name?
Mark Ruffalo.
I don't like Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk actually.
Don't see. I think he works.
I know.
I think I like him as the Hulk, but Eric Bana for me was the best one.
I think he would be a better Hulk.
Who? Eric Bana?
Eric Bana or Edward Norton.
Oh, Edward Norton is horrible as the Hulk. I mean, I like Edward Norton like as an actor, but like
he was only good in
like an Italian Job and shit like
Fight
that.
Club.
Fight Club.
That's pretty much it.
There you go.
He was in a couple of movies back then that I liked, but like as far as like Hulk, I don't know, man. He just didn't fit like that role for me. You know, like the character of Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
That's fair.
He didn't play a good Banner. He was just
and the Hulk is all CG and shit anyway. So it's like, and in fact, actually, most of the time,
that Hulk was brutal though. You have to admit, like that Hulk did some stuff.
Yeah.
That like the new Hulk does not do.
You talking about Norton or whatever?
But that's not. But that's not because of Edward Norton.
Oh.
I know.
Right. In fact,
or maybe it is. Actually, he was very heavy in the creative for Hulk, if I remember.
Edward
like
Norton?
he wanted to direct it. Yeah.
Lou Ferrigno actually, in even the MCU movies today, still does a lot of the Hulk voice acting. It's crazy.
Oh, didn't know.
Yeah. He actually is cast as
voice
Kate. On Hulk.
He's just not a good Hulk to me.
He's a damn treasure.
See, I love him as Bruce Banner. Like he's got that.
I love him as a person.
He's got that like perfect like in between. Like, you know what I mean?
I liked him, but I did not like his portrayal of Professor Hulk.
Yes.
Like Professor Hulk was like
Too cheesy.
What
over
is
the
that?
Top. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he's supposed to be a brilliant scientist, but as Incredible Hulk, and I got, hey, who wants fucking some
Big hair.
Snapchats with me?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
cocky,
Like what the fuck? Like,
But that could also be
it was-
writing, not necessarily his fault, right? Like,
It could be, but like, I don't know. I just the more I like rewatch some of the MCU movies, I'm like, I don't believe you're Bruce Banner. I believe there's someone out there who is more Bruce Banner than you.
Eric Bana.
But I'll accept you for now.
Did you watch the old one with Eric Bana in it?
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
I would watch the heck out of that. I think
he's in the desert and they like throws a tank or whatever.
Yeah, and his
Mhm.
physics in that one was awesome. Like when he's like trying to pick up the tank, he's like, "Whoa," and he gets like strong. Like when he gets angrier, he gets stronger, and you actually see him get bigger. And you don't see that as much in like the newer Hulk movies too. Like
yeah,
the thing about the Hulk is he gets stronger the
And
angrier
bigger.
he gets.
I feel like
bigger.
they like don't do crap with Hulk in the MCU. Really, it's just like, there's Hulk
Yeah.
there.
Well,
And he does nothing.
Maybe there's hope for that in the future though, because of the rights. They actually have the rights now,
Yeah.
right? Like the full rights.
Jennifer Connelly was in the non-Edward Norton.
She was in the Eric Bana.
Incredible-
Yeah. Movie.
That okay, yeah, because she's my girl.
But she may have actually
She-
been in the Edward Norton one too. She may have been recast to play the same role. I
No,
don't remember.
no.
They recast General Ross for sure.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Ross. Now he's been the same throughout the whole. He was the same in all the Incredible Hulks and Iron Man and throughout the MCU. They've casted him, but he's going to be rumored Red Hulk. We'll see about that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like the Thor Ragnarok was supposed to be kind of like Planet Hulk, but they didn't have Hulk. They just had to do like Thor Ragnarok or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much
That
Planet Hulk. But
would've been
dang,
phenomenal.
that's such a shame. Like that was a great movie though.
Yeah,
It's just a shame because like
Fucking
you can't
Fox.
redo. You
Universal.
can't do it again. Yeah, it was Universal at the time. I guess they
You
have the rights.
could.
now.
I mean, they could because they technically weren't on Planet Hulk, so they could on a. Now we're in the multiverse. Find it on a different multiverse.
But there's the whole Gladiator Stadium, so they would have to like let's do something else. They would have to change it a little bit.
Yeah,
I
but
think
they
they
could
could
do-
do just a Planet
they could
Hulk
do-
movie and hype the shit out of it, and it would be fine.
Yeah, you can do Gray Hulk, Red Hulk.
Or maybe a variant where they could pretty much get away with it and do Planet Hulk and say screw what happened in Ragnarok.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a good thing about variants. You can get away
Yeah.
with a lot. You can get away with quite a bit.
Yeah, Bold Alpha Wolfpack says the Mark Ruffalo Hulk is a continuation of Norton's. He has the same same scar and less. Yeah, that's when the MCU started, was with Incredible Hulk and Iron Man. Those were the two first MCU movies, and they didn't really know.
want to come back or something like that.
Yeah.
Now it's starting with X-Men. It's gone back even further.
Yeah. So now we get to go and look at all those old X-Men movies and wonder how they're going to incorporate are they going to incorporate any of this past, or are they going to redo it all? Are they going to acknowledge its existence? Because technically
Good
they
luck to
own
them.
the existence of that whole shenanigans, right? So are they going to act
Variants.
like that just never happened, or it just
Variants.
new
They're going to be
thing?
Yeah, it's just gonna be variants.
variants.
I just found it interesting
That's all.
because Patrick Stewart, making his appearance, like, will we see potentially cameos by some of the X-Men, like Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry?
There's just some X-Men that you just can't. They hit the head on the actors and picking them for the roles, like Professor Xavier, Wolverine, Storm.
On the original trilogy, yeah, they nailed
correct.
those. Right.
Correct. And maybe and Beast on original,
Yeah, Kelsey
not
Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Awesome, because that was like perfect
The original Mystique too.
Yeah.
with Rebecca Romaine Stamos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was good.
Jennifer Lawrence was okay
I didn't like
as Mystique for me, but like they did pay too much attention to her, like as the main character of like the whole all those movies in a way.
They're gonna make Mystique like a good person, and no, that's not Mystique. Go back, watch the animated series.
No, but she
Go
was
back,
Raven. She was Raven.
No.
I'll
So
be honest, I watched like
origin.
2 of those
That's not her.
movies. I didn't watch like half of them.
Yeah, no, I know. Like
Yeah.
Rick Romaine Stamos played more of what we know of as Mystique. But they played this as two different characters. It was Jennifer Lawrence, like a Raven turning into Mystique, kind of, right? So it was very interesting. I didn't mind that, but also Rebecca Romaine Stamos was pretty badass in that role too. So either one there. But part of the problem, 3-bit, they paid too much damn attention. She was like the main character pretty much of the whole series.
Yeah, she's not supposed to be a main character either. Like that was a thing. Like I guess I wouldn't want to be Kevin Feige, because if you are trying to figure out which X-Men movies to have like pull from or not pull from, or I'm gonna recast this role and not recast that role, that's tough. Because the new X-Men movies, I feel like Fox was confusing the audience on purpose, because their plot was all over the place by the end of.
They didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
They didn't know what they were doing.
They didn't.
You also have to think like,
yeah, go ahead.
Do these actors want to come back and redo that role? Because like some of them, like I can't remember his name, but the guy that played Magneto in the first X-Men, like he's probably like 90 years old now. Like,
is it Ian McKellen?
No.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I would
Gandalf.
Underneath MCU. Yeah. I would underneath MCU.
Yeah, but
not Fox.
Now with the new X-Men, I forget the gentleman who played him. He was fantastic as Magneto.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender, phenomenal pick. Now Professor Xavier, he was all right.
James McAvoy.
Yeah,
I'm terrible with actor names.
So am I. And he did a pretty good job. But we'll see who they bring back, because you saw they couldn't really find a Wolverine for that new series, so they brought back Hugh Jackman. So there was like, there's just some characters you just can't replace.
So they had some issues, right? Because they had the Days of Future Past that was kind of like a cross between the new X-Men and then the old X-Men, right? And then when they did like the X-Men, like was it X-Men First Class or whatever, when they were all younger? And then they went forward after that. After that, when they cast all these young actors to be like Cyclops and Jean Grey and all this stuff, but then they end up going further into the future after that. They got like a really young Storm and all these things, but then they jump into the whole Phoenix like thing again with the young actors. That was confusing as shit to me. You know what I mean? Because like that's not supposed to happen.
Timelines don't make any sense.
That's not supposed to happen till way later. You know what I mean? When they're like way older and like all this stuff. So it's like they're trying to like find a way to.
They're trying to fix their fuck up.
Yeah,
that's what it seemed like. That whole Phoenix story plot line.
They did the Phoenix storyline twice.
I know,
and they messed it up 2 times.
It was like, horrible. That's what I'm saying. They messed up on the first one, and like, you know what? When we redo this, let's go back at it. Let's redeem ourselves.
Yeah, but like it was supposed to be a younger version of her having the same thing happen to her back when she was younger that she hadn't experienced yet when she's older. It's just freaking weird and doesn't make any damn sense. Like, okay, I felt like when I was watching those other X-Men movies, I was supposed to be watching the younger versions of those characters, right? Because that's what Days of Future Past kind of told me. Because even Wolverine was like, remember Wolverine got out of the facility and all this stuff. So it's okay. It's the same world. They all exist in the same world. So this is the younger versions of them. And they all still look like they're like 18, 19 years old. And then Jean Grey is having this freaking Phoenix moment when we just saw the other actress that played Jean Grey do it when she was like 40. You know, like it doesn't make any damn sense. It just doesn't make any
It
sense.
really doesn't.
It's Fox. That's what I gotta say. It's fucking Fox.
And then the next time we see Wolverine, he's dying of old age and shit. You know, like this guy, like, I mean, it's like
they really screwed up the story for sure.
It's crazy.
Well, now Disney owns Fox and X-Men, and now Marvel owns X-Men again. So let's bring them. Let's pretend that those X-Men movies didn't exist.
Right.
And let's do it right. Come on, Marvel. Come on, make everyone proud of X-Men.
So if the X-Men are going to be variants in the MCU, does that mean that that has to happen is like an X-Men from the other universe has to knock someone up in the MCU universe to get the X gene to spread? Like
they need to go back in time around like 1970s, or no, wait, when was so they need to go to World War II era, right? Because that's when
Magneto was first found.
And that's Magneto and Professor X, right? So they need to go into World War II era, and they need to insert the gene then. Right.
Well, Wolverine was like older than that, or what? Because he's fought in like.
He's right. He's in like the 1800s and shit, or before that even. It's like, damn. So maybe no, even before that. Remember the Apocalypse movie, like with the
the Egyptians.
Yeah. That goes back to like BC and shit. So never mind. I don't know. You go and put it like to like monkeys before we became people. I
don't know. I wonder how they're gonna do it. They kind of like with the Inhumans. Technically, the Inhumans are
they replaced them.
They replaced the mutants because they didn't have the rights, but now they have the rights. So they're just like,
right.
What do we do now? So I'm sure like you could pretty much erase history and do whatever you want with time travel and variants. So they have some freedom.
It's like I'm okay with them acknowledging the original trilogy. I don't want them to acknowledge the other stuff. Right?
Well, they're going to have to tell the Dark Phoenix story again. That's a very important storyline, and that'll be the third time they tell it, which is like it reminds me of Spider-Man and the Uncle Ben dying for a million times. They might skip something. I don't know.
But I think that when they do it, they're going to go deeper into it than we've ever seen before, as opposed to what they did in these other movies, and even the cartoon, which only like lasted for a show or two.
Or maybe
it's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll just be like, this stuff happened, and like what the multiverse, like since we're starting to understand it more, they're like, and now we can travel between multiverses and help each other out. So that there won't need to be a need for an X gene in the MCU universe side. They'll just be like, and we can travel between universes and help each other.
Shout out to John TJ with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, sir. He says, "Hi guys, are you excited for Elden Ring? Plus, everyone hit the like button." Yeah, I appreciate anybody who hits the like button. Thank you so much. It helps us grow the channel and helps people find us. So thank you so much.
Yes, we are becoming more excited.
Yeah. I'm 97% excited now.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm like 80.
I see what you did there.
My percentage of excitement goes with the meta. If it's a 75, I'm only 75% excited. This is a 97. Now I'm 97% excited. So there's still 3% doubt of whether I'd enjoy the game.
Do you know how crazy, like earlier today was at 98 and it like, I think doubled in critic reviews, almost tripled, and it's went down
fake reviews.
One fucking score. And I'm like, damn. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of 10 out of 10s for Elden Ring. So like what I said before the show started, when I first saw Elden Ring, it looked like trash, in my opinion, and now it's looking amazing. It looks really cool.
We talked about it the first half of the show.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be, I don't know, I don't like Souls games. I think that's a lot of our dilemma. Like everybody on this panel, I don't like Souls games. I think the one I like the most is probably Bloodborne. I thought that was pretty fun, but I have a feeling, and I don't want this to happen, but I have a feeling I'm going to buy this game, I'm going to play it, and then I'm like, well, it's the same like how I feel about other Souls games, and then I just wasted like $60. I don't want that to happen.
Well,
But
you
I'm
could
willing
always
to
sell
try.
it on eBay and only waste like 30.
Not if I buy it digitally.
No one's buying physical.
Yeah.
No one buys physical anymore, so I would be unless I get like a refund or something. I don't know.
I want to read this from Victor Alistine. He says they are resetting things in the MCU like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, and some others to the comic lines. What do you mean to the comic lines? They're like trying to take things back to more of the source material a little bit. And also, I got to read this as well because Chris Jones is here, and he says Gambit is the best, and I agree. In fact, I got a picture of Gambit right there. You probably can't see that one right there where my finger is. That's Gambit. I hope I'm not touching him in a bad spot, but that's Gambit right there.
Gambit's awesome. Here's the thing with I want to say about the MCU. MCU takes the comic characters and makes them very close to the material. If it doesn't fit the material, they make it fit the material in the comics. So the comics start morphing into the actors and stuff. But with Fox was always like ashamed of their source material. Like if you watch the X-Men movies, they're like have like the yellow costumes like they have from the comics and stuff. They're like never in a million years. Like they would make fun of their own origin of what made people like them in the first place. That's what I always hated about the Fox movies. And what I always loved about the MCU movies is they embrace a lot of the crazy shenanigans. So I'm hoping to see an accurate comic version of the X-Men. I want to see yellow Wolverine.
About MCU
yellow, blue, yellow, brown. Which one?
The last few years in the MCU, they've like started going more comic based, like with their costumes. So
yeah, because that's what fucking people, that's what the fans want. They want to see Wolverine in the blue and yellow spandex. They want to see everyone in their right attire.
Yeah.
People lost their freaking minds when they saw, even it was a Halloween costume of Scarlet Witch on WandaVision. They were like, holy crap, why can't we get this? And then boom, at the end of the freaking series, she gets it.
Could you
the movie version of it, but still.
Do you guys think they could ever do like a big live action X-Men show on Disney Plus? I mean,
they would have to
kind of like the animated show, but live action, where they go and like around the world and just do different events.
I mean, they got like Mandalorian. They got all these like other like, you know.
If they want to go with, if they want to do like backstories, if they want to go origin stories, instead of doing like a standalone straight up origin movie, and they could do it origin TV.
See, I think that would be a great place to have like young X-Men, right?
See, I think the problem is they would tie it in with all the like the current stuff. So like, I don't know if they're willing to go back and just like start doing origin stuffs, because they like to tie in everything with the current timeline.
I feel like I need that though. Like I get what you're saying. Like it makes sense, but as a fan, I want to see it redone in the proper way by Disney and what they're doing with the MCU to X-Men. I
don't think they would make it a show.
I mean, they had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which
they're
was
gonna have movies
trying to be
too,
that.
But we also got like Hawkeye. You know, we also got WandaVision. You know, we have.
But those are
She-Hulk.
just small enough where it's like it makes kind of sense. Like X-Men is such a big name.
Yeah, but you could have like individual shows that spin off of like individual characters.
Yeah, I can see that. Like a Gambit,
like a Gambit show. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Let's go. John TJ with another $2 super chat. Appreciate you, dude. He says, "I'll play with you. Never played a Souls game." Right on. Yeah. Any of us will, if we get it, we'll be able to play with you, dude. I still not 100% decided when I'm getting it. I know I will eventually get it, but I don't know if I'm getting it day one or not. Old Apple Wolfpack.
I think the FOMO is gonna hit you pretty hard in that.
It is. It already is, dude. It already is.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on Xbox Ultimate when we're talking about it, and he's gonna be like,
at the end of the show or during the show.
Caitlin.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch more people play it before I buy it. If I do.
Yeah. I was close to buying Horizon.
Lady's gonna talk about it. You know, Boom's gonna be talking about it because he's buying it. there's just so many other people in our in the industry that we know that are going to talk about it, and and I'm waiting because I just can't. I got to pick and choose what I want to buy, but
Yeah.
other than that, I'm just going to wait.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I just hope it's I don't know. It looks amazing and everything. I just couldn't get into the Souls game. That's what's like.
I love the tech test. I played the tech test and I loved it. Felt so good. So like I know it's gonna what I played, if it stays to what the tech test was, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I have the same problem with Horizon. Like I did not like the first Horizon, and that's what's keeping me back from getting the new one. People are like, oh, it's amazing and everything. And I was very close to buying it a couple times. And then every time I'm about to buy it, like, but people said this about the first one. And I didn't like the first one. It was kind of boring. I could not get into the first Horizon.
You should wait until it goes into Game Pass. Oh, I mean, oh yeah, I forgot that's not a thing.
I'm definitely gonna wait for a price drop. Like it's $60 with the $60 with the free upgrade to the PS5. But I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
Probably. I might change my mind.
Speaking of getting all these stories and everything straight and all this stuff in the MCU and everything, guess what's now coming to Disney Plus, guys? Just like we talked about before, the Daredevil show, Defenders, all that stuff, Jessica Jones is being pulled from Netflix. Now we have a date. It's coming to Disney Plus on March 16th. Now we've already seen Daredevil in a Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie. Spoiler alert. Sorry. We've also seen Kingpin in the Hawkeye show. Spoiler alert. Sorry, I should say that first. But if you've missed those things, you haven't been looking on the internet at all at anything to do with Marvel, because that stuff's everywhere. So now we are going to find out that these are included, as they always have been with the MCU, because we've even seen stuff going on the TVs in the background about the Battle of New York and all this stuff, right? How incorporated do you think we're going to get with some of these characters, like going forward, making new appearances, being on Disney Plus, potentially maybe doing more shows in the future? Who knows exactly, but I think it's pretty cool. We find as more of this stuff that goes into one service is better for me, that because you can, if you're a Marvel fan, okay, you go sign up for Disney Plus. If you're a Star Wars fan, sign up for Disney Plus. If you're this fan, it's been kind of weird having it all kind of like spread around. And also weird news is that Incredible Hulk movie that we're talking about with Edward Norton is going to Netflix, which doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's happening.
Wait, what's say that again?
The Incredible Hulk. Yeah. The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton is going to Netflix.
Oh,
it's not even on Disney Plus right now, is it? I don't think so.
No,
that's weird.
Because it was a Universal movie, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
And did you? Are you talking about the announcement that all Netflix shows are going to Disney Plus?
Just the Daredevil Defender series
and like
stuff.
March.
March.
Yeah, so it's
like
March 16th. March, I don't freaking know. Okay, hold on. March something. I just had it. I can't find it. It says it on the.
Yeah, I saw it somewhere.
This is when your tabs don't work on your browser. Right?
Let's see.
Yeah, it is March 16th.
March 16th. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool. It's weird that they pull. Well, I guess they want everything underneath one umbrella, and then I was always wondering what the rights were on that, because I know first Disney canceled all of the shows, and I read articles where they were saying that Marvel can't make anything related to these characters for at least 1 to 2 years. Those 1 to 2 years happen. because Netflix owned the rights to those characters for that amount of time from when they canceled the show. So I think they canceled Daredevil first, if I remember correctly, then Jessica Jones, then
Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Punisher.
Yeah, all those characters, and now they can do whatever they want with them. So I guess after those rights all came back to them, then I guess there was additional rights where they're like, okay, well, now we're going to take these off of Netflix, because I've never seen a show on Netflix that was a Netflix original get taken off. This is the first time I've seen this happen. They had to have something in their contract where
it's Marvel.
Yeah.
So
I know, but it's
Netflix
crazy.
made it, but it's a Marvel IP. So.
But have you do you guys, can you think of another scenario where yeah.
Marvel probably paid big bucks. They probably get royalties if they air these. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, here's Netflix. You get, X amount of dollars for whatever for us airing this. So they're probably fine. We don't have it, but we're still getting paid for it. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what was in those contracts, because you would think like other Netflix originals, like, can they get taken off too? Like, or is
a lot of Netflix originals are their own like creation pretty much too. Yeah. So,
but you got to remember
too,
But you got to remember though, when the Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk and a couple and X-Men, when all those IPs were sold off, so Marvel didn't go under, really messed with them, because look how hard it was to get. I don't see them getting Spider-Man back if Sony keeps pumping out these movies. In Incredible Hulk, it took a long time, so they probably were like, we can't lose these characters. Let's put it in our clause in the contract. You can use these IPs, but when it comes down to a certain whatever we're going to do,
like 3 years or something.
Exactly. And you don't do nothing with it, it comes back to us. So this way they're leasing and they're not selling off. And that was the issue. That's where they went wrong with Spider-Man and so forth. And that's why I think that's where it stipulates is the difference is where the stipulation is with the clause.
Spider-Man's literally the last character that they don't have. I'm pretty sure that's the only character left that Disney does not have. They have Namor, they have Hulk.
Anything Spider-Man related, they don't have, I believe. Like Morbius and all that.
Yeah, I'm just like excited for like, it's now since Disney's got all these characters back, like Iron Fist, you'll probably see him in the next Shang-Chi because there's all that Asian like martial arts influence stuff. You could see they showed Daredevil in the new Spider-Man. You're good. Jessica Jones, I don't know where she'll go. Luke Cage, I don't really care about. Punisher, I just want to see Punisher in movies. He's like a really cool character.
Such a good freaking show. I just started rewatching that.
Yeah, John Barenthal's a badass in that too.
Yeah.
He's a good Punisher. I just don't want Iron Fist. Whoever I forget the character's name. Get rid of him. He was a horrible freaking actor. You just
Iron Fist is supposed to be corny, psycho. He's supposed to be really cheesy.
It's not even cheesy. The guy can't act. I'm like, I know I can't act, but I'm not going to pretend.
Iron Fist.
I'm not going to be pretending that I'm an actor. I can't, you know what I mean? There's a difference. I was not.
I get it. I know. I wonder who they would recast if they do.
Anybody.
Could you imagine like Punisher teaming up with Blade to just like shoot vampires? That would be so amazing. I'm just
yes. Maybe they should make like a different section of Disney Plus, like I don't know, underground, or call it underground or something.
You mean like
those are like
R-rated stuff?
Just like they have a lot of R-rated type character, and the whole dilemma was, okay, you could put the mature shows on Netflix, so that way there's not like the audience thing where people go to click on High School Musical and then they click on Punisher, But maybe they make like an underground section where they can have Blade, and Punisher is a dark character.
Yeah.
Like he's a very dark character. You can't hold back with Punisher.
No.
So if you're
So
gonna,
they would almost said Deadpool.
oh yeah, Deadpool. Like Deadpool, it needs to be R-rated. You know, like especially the third one. So if you're gonna put all of your content underneath Disney Plus, which is cool to have it all underneath one streaming service, so you don't have to go jumping around to different services, then maybe have like another section of Disney Plus, so you're not encouraged to make these R-rated characters. Like
you're like old video store. You want to see the good stuff, you got to go in the back room.
These are the Marvel movies with sex over here.
It's like a curtain you go in, and it's like all these different movies. Like I feel like they kind of need to do that because they Disney has this friendly kid image, but a lot of fans do want these characters to stay in this world, like this sort of dark world. Like a lot of people are still complaining about like how Kingpin,
Marvel Underground.
Yeah.
Oh, there was that Mickey Mouse Nazis animated show, whatever, that animated episode.
Disney X.
The dark Disney. Yeah. They put like captions on a lot of the old Disney stuff that were like super racist back in the day. They're like, we're sorry, but here you go. I think they took out some stuff. Yeah. Like Dumbo. I think.
Dumbo. What the fuck? Dumbo. Racist shit's in Dumbo.
I think there's a lot of stuff in Dumbo.
Yeah. Really? I was so young. I don't remember that shit.
Yeah, I don't remember all.
We did. I mean, we just watched the stuff. We didn't think anything of it. We're just,
Yeah. While our parents are, that's probably why my parents were giggling during all the Disney movies. They're like, "Oh my god, dude, what the fuck?"
I didn't understand it as a kid, but yeah, there's a lot.
So Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Punisher, and The Defenders will start streaming on Disney Plus.
Cool.
Oh, it says Disney Plus Canada on March 16th. It's unknown if Disney Plus in the United States and other territories will begin streaming these series on this date or at a later time.
Oh, wait, what?
Damn it.
Hey, we don't get it.
They're not going to give it to Canada, not giving it to us at the same time.
I mean, know.
Come on.
What do you know?
Just get a VPN, you can watch it.
Yeah.
What the heck, Disney?
All right, Disney. All right, hold on. Marvel.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
This got to, because it's leaving Netflix, so it'll be nowhere to watch. So
yeah, no, it will for sure. I'm just trying to.
Like when I went to France, they have Rick and Morty. They have all of the Rick and Morty episodes on Netflix, and I'm like, "What the heck? That's awesome."
They used to have
and
in the UK. They got Star Trek on Netflix, the Discovery one, when it was a CBS show or whatever.
Why did they do that?
Oh, this is from Yahoo News. Marvel's Netflix shows are coming to Disney Plus, but only in Canada for now. What the hell?
Man, didn't read.
Wow. I was reading the wrong one. They didn't say Canada. It's way later in the story. Damn it. All right, hold on. It says, but only in Canada. If you're fortunate enough to live in the country, you only have to wait a couple weeks. Okay. It's not clear when these shows will be available in other countries, but Engadget understands it's just a matter of time before you can watch elsewhere. So it's coming. They just haven't said yet. I imagine it can't be too far after that. We'll say sometime in March or April.
Oh my god.
Why did they get it first?
It's Canada. Eh?
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. All right, sorry.
Yeah.
Canada. Living here in Florida, I remember how much I hate snowbirds.
Snowbirds.
Yeah, it's when people from like the up north come migrating down, and they're driving and they can't drive worth a shit.
Didn't you just do that?
I live here. It's a difference.
You live there for 2 days.
I don't go back to Ohio. I'm here.
People in Georgia cannot drive. It's a thing.
No, it's all over. It's just not one state. And finding everyone.
No one uses their signal. They're like, if you try to get over in a lane, they speed up, so you can't do it. It's
you live in a golf cart community?
That's all right.
Not anymore.
Someone stopped in the middle. Oh.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
As I said, someone stopped in the middle of the highway to turn right. So 3-lane highway stopped in the left lane to turn right to go like this is a fucking accident. This is gonna be a fucking accident. Sorry.
Yeah, someone did that on the highway, but they stopped in the middle of the highway because their door was open. So they like got out. They stopped the car, got out, closed the door, and like ran back. I'm like, that's so dumb. You should at least pull on the right side of the road. You know, the emergency thing, the lane. What's intended.
Yeah, why it's there.
Yeah.
The main purpose, the only reason the side of the road is there for.
Yeah.
Burn.
I freaking had a nail in our, or not a nail, I had a screw in our tire today. So I went out to take our daughter to school this morning, and I've noticed, shit, the wheel's looking a little, the tire's looking a little low there, like really low, isn't it? And I didn't know if it was flat or if it was like almost flat. You know what I mean? Because there's a difference.
Oh.
Almost flat, you can still drive on it a little bit to get to where you can take care of it. Flat, you shouldn't be doing that, right? So I tested it out. It was almost flat. I was able to get there, and it got it fixed. Luckily, it was in the middle of the tire, so I didn't have to replace the tire. Right? Could just
That's good.
Plug it and patch it, and good to go. But yeah, that sucked. But also, like, it was icy and sleety everywhere, and they didn't cancel school today. And then they, in the middle of the day, oh shit, there's all these accidents happening because it's freezing rain. And then they're like, okay, the high school's getting out early, and all these parents are starting to go pick up their kids from school. So we went and picked up our daughter in the afternoon, before school got out. And now there's just frozen everywhere. Everything's frozen again here.
I love how Texas is just getting winter like the rest of America gets now. It's like, and y'all don't know what to do.
It's weird, man. We're not used to this shit, you know? Like, but here it doesn't snow. It just freezes over. It's like we just have a layer of ice on top of everything. Like
so
the road,
frost.
Yeah, the road has ice, and you can't tell it's ice. You know, it just looks wet.
Oh, so you get black ice.
Black ice all over the place.
Nice. Yeah. That's like the best.
Yeah, and your car has like a half-inch thick sheet of like just ice completely surrounding it, you know? So you have to sit in the damn car for like 30 minutes while you let your defrosters go so you can fucking see out. Because we don't have all this fucking ice shit to like knock off the ice off the windshields and stuff. So I have to sit there. Like, I guess I could go inside and improvise and get a spatula.
Yeah, what most people do is like they'll like before they get ready for work, they'll just go turn on their car and let it heat up. So like when they're done, it's like the car's warm.
Yeah, but we don't think ahead like this because we're Texas. We're used to just go and get in the fucking car and go. You know, it's like usually 100 degrees outside, right? So, you know, like I sat in the car and I'm sitting in this shit. I couldn't even open the fucking trunk. It was frozen shut. I was like,
I don't know what to do.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna, because I had a ladder in our car because I use a ladder for work. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna take out the ladder. But, oh shit, nope, not gonna take it out because I can't even open the fucking trunk right now. It's frozen. Button wouldn't work.
Do you guys salt your roads?
No,
they don't have salt.
We don't have salt here. They dump little clumps of sand here and there. You know. That's great. And nobody here has like, we don't usually go for like all-wheel drive either, like you do up north. You know, everybody up north has all-wheel drive cars. So here we had a lot of trucks. You know,
your trucks don't have four-wheel. What kind of F-150 don't have four-wheel?
People here don't need to pay the extra money for the four-wheel drive. You know, unless you're off-roading a lot. You know, we just have the trucks for show and hauling shit. You know, so we get real-wheel drive.
I got a big-ass truck. It does nothing.
You know? So we got, you know,
I mean, same thing in Georgia. Yeah, they don't know what to do. Like, it'll snow like barely an inch, and everyone in Georgia freaks out. Everything shuts down. They're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And it's not even like, it'll be like, basically rain.
While Ohio, it's like 3 feet deep snow. It's like, and we're like, gotta go to school. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. See, my wife's from Vermont, so when we would go to Vermont, there, like, there's freaking like crazy tall snow. Yeah, I mean, there's like banks of snow that are like taller than a house, you know, and the roads are like great because they salt them, and there's no ice. You know, there's no ice on the roads, right? Like, so you can just drive around. Everybody knows what they're doing and all this stuff, right? But here, within 30 minutes of like a ice storm or whatever, you know, it's just like everything's like a skating rink. outside, you know. So within the first hour of it getting iced over, there was already 3 accidents right by us. Like you just hear fire trucks and sirens going off like crazy. Shout out to Bold Alpha Whooppack for a $5 super chat. Appreciate that, sir. It says, what are some of the panel's favorite Marvel comic storylines? Oof, this is gonna be a tough one for me. And I'll tell you why in a minute, but I that's a great question. So let's ask Jasper first. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was trying to think, like, not that I'm like too familiar with it, but I think it's just like a cool idea. Is Cosmic Ghost Rider? He's like Ghost Rider in space, so he's like putting all the aliens or whatever in hell. So it's like kind of cool there. I don't know.
Right on.
Just a thought.
What about you, 3-Bit? Is it something that your dad or your boss worked on, or is it something else?
This is a hard question. I don't know if I can answer. I love the I think it's Secret Invasion storyline. That was really cool. With you guys look up the character Defender. He's really awesome. He basically defeats a lot of the Avengers. I love the Dark Phoenix storyline. They mess it up so many times in the movies. It does make it hard to say that sometimes, but the Dark Phoenix comic is amazing. And everyone should go read it. Two more, just cause I can't list one. It's just because there's so many. Deadpool Kills Everything is a great one. He literally he becomes self-aware and he kills all of the Marvel characters that exist. And then once he kills every single Marvel character, he kills the people who created them. So he goes to Stan Lee's office, tries to kill Stan Lee and all the writers in Marvel's office. And then once he kills all the people who created them, he kills the people that was inspired by them. So like Sherlock Holmes and all these other people. Then he tries to break out the comic and kill the person is reading it. So that's like such a crazy comic book that needs to be a movie. Absolutely amazing book. And my last one will be, I guess, the Civil War books were really good. That one's from my boss. He wrote them, and those books are great. It's like pretty much what you kind of see in the movies, where it's a conflict between the superheroes who want to be registered by the government. The other half want their anonymity because that's just how they want, and then they clash over that. So those are there's a lot more. I'm not going to list them because it'll be like a long show, but those are some of my favorites for sure.
Nice. What about you, Psychonauts?
Well, I didn't follow too much of the Marvel comic line, but I forget the name of the series, but it's the Deathlock series where Cable is introduced in the Deathlock story, and it's like this whole banter. They go all over. They start like time skipping through space, and they're like back in the 1800s and all that. It's like it's insane. I think they even popped up in the Ghost Rider episode. It was like Midnight Rider, believe. So yeah, it was pretty good. I forget. I have the comic book somewhere in my collection. I'll have to go find it to know which ones they were. But yeah, I was a big Deathlock fan back in the day.
Right on.
Nice.
The anti-hero.
And as for me, I honestly can't really answer that because these guys know I have never really been into the actual comic books. I don't really enjoy reading them.
He just doesn't like to read, that's all.
Well, it's not bad. I never really went out of my way to go and look beyond what was just at like the grocery stores and shit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And whenever I saw one, it didn't really grab my attention, so I never really got presented to the right ones. And I always was really into the cartoons and the animation and the TV shows and the movies, right? So my love for Marvel and DC comes from all of that. Like little kid watching old school Batman, still like even the Adam West Batman, and then the old Spider-Man cartoon in the 80s, all of that stuff that I just was obsessed with it. All the 80s cartoons in general, but then the X-Men, the show, like back then.
It's also hard for comics because you're like, where do you start? Like, there's no like episode one. It's kind of
I would probably enjoy them now, but it's like it's kind of weird for me to like go and if I did it, I wouldn't want to do it digitally. I'd want to actually go buy a physical one,
Yeah.
But I never go to a comic store or anything like that, So I just never really got into comics. I'm missing out on so much. I know I am. So, but for me, like, I love the stories told like in front of me and presented to me to where, instead of me using my imagination as much, right? I really like to see it all play out, right?
If I recommended you books, would you read it, or you just prefer to like would see it when
I would need the physical. I would definitely read it, but I would need the physical, and I would go out and buy it at some point down the line, We've talked about this before, like, and I would honestly like more than just the traditional Marvel and DC like superhero stuff. I would like any of the offshoot comics. Like one that always intrigued me was Dick Tracy, right? But that's DC, right?
I almost got into DC when they redid their DC 52. Like they redid the whole thing, and it was like DC 52 was the branding or whatever. Like that was like the good point to get into it. But I almost did, but I just never did.
Oh, I did. I got the Unchained series of the Superman Unchained. But they got like they started going crazy with that shit,
Yeah.
Doomed. It was so like Earth One. Like me, I don't know if you guys read them, but Earth One graphic novels of Superman and Batman, probably the best.
Mm-hmm.
The best.
The thing is, like Marvel with the movies, like they kill it, and then DC can't touch them there. But DC in the comics, like all the comics that I listed, like those are like amazing comics. But lately, I would say DC's a little bit better with their stories. Like I love a lot of the classic comics from Marvel, like the stories that really defined a lot of the characters that they're still reusing to this day. Like a lot of the Marvel stories that they are going to use for like Doctor Strange or Spider-Man, they're coming from like these monumental stories that came out years ago, right? But the newer comics, I wouldn't say
Marvel just sucks. They keep rebranding and like regendering and like all that stuff with the new comics.
They're not the best, honestly. I would say that's where DC is still
DC's always been a little bit more edgy, right? Also, so I think as you get older, probably you appreciate DC more. I would assume because everything's a little bit darker with DC period, right?
They're better with their comics for sure. Lately,
I would probably honestly, I'd probably enjoy DC comics more than I would Marvel, but I wish DC movies matched up to what the MCU has built. Like my whole thing with DC is like, okay, they're trying to do their thing. They got the Justice League, they got all this stuff going. But like what MCU's done is made me aware of all of these characters I had no idea existed. Like I know who Flash is, I know who Wonder Woman is, I know who Batman is, I know who, Aquaman is. I know all those main guys, right? But like I never heard of Shang-Chi. I never heard of America Chavez. I never heard of all of these Guardians of the Galaxy before this whole Guardians of the Galaxy movie was announced.
There you go.
That's it. We see it. Deathlock.
Like it's trying so hard right now.
Nice.
Yeah. There you go.
It's badass. Like all of these characters, they've really dug down deep into the lore and the realm of all of these other characters that they're not afraid to make movies about and really go deep. Like Shang-Chi, man, that was a huge, successful movie, but a character I never knew existed, right? Eternals, I never knew they existed before all of this. It's freaking awesome to me. I love seeing that shit. Now, if DC could figure that out, I would love to see a Green Arrow movie, right? Because I love the Green Arrow show, at least the first several seasons of it. stuff like that. I just like they got so much there, they're just not doing enough with it because they're afraid to. That's the one thing with Kevin Feige and those people that are behind making all those movies at MCU. They're not afraid to go out there and tell some crazy ass stories and expand the universe because they're all, and when they're doing it all in a cohesive way.
They've done the work,
right? Yes, it's crazy, dude.
They've done the work. They told the origin stories. They've built up like 10, 20 years of stories, and now they are reaping the benefits. So now they can do a lot of these crazy stories.
And guess how much more valuable their brand is now than was when they started. Right? Like Marvel with all of those characters, like Guardians of the Galaxy was not really worth that much before, right? Now Guardians of the Galaxy. I still hate
the comics. Those comics are still trash.
But the name Guardians of the Galaxy now means something.
Yeah,
right?
I love the movies and stuff.
Shang-Chi now means something. You know? Like all of these brands are putting out there into the mainstream masses, like, and they're successful. They actually mean something now. They're like, you know how much more valuable all of that is than it used to be? Right? Like DC has this at their fingertips. They could make all these things super mainstream. They're just not doing it. I don't know.
No,
they need a Kevin Feige.
They need a Kevin Feige. Well, maybe it'll be James Gunn, because lately, like that Peacemaker show, that was sick, right? That's one that DC with the Suicide Squad in this, maybe they're starting to go that direction, because that's what they did with those. There's a lot of characters in there I'd never heard of as well, right? And that Peacemaker, one of them. Now they got a show, and it was awesome. So
yeah, literally, could you have made the show with any other character from Suicide Squad?
Idris Elba. Like, did you not like Peacemaker? You don't like?
Yeah, it's just like the Rat Girl would have been better. Like, anyone.
Rat Girl. Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for the show today. Thank you all so much for checking us out, and thank you for all being part of Speculation Nation, where it's always fun to speculate here. That's we came up with that earlier. I don't know. Anyway, Jasper, thanks for joining us. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Jasper_Gaming_ on Twitter, Jasper Gaming on YouTube, and check the description below for all of the panels links, and FunPop on Friday, or not FunPop on Friday, Xbox Ultimate on Friday.
Right on, dude. Shout out to Noof Nukem. What's up, dude? 3-Bet. Thanks for being here as always. Lately. Love you, man. Appreciate it. Where can everybody find you, sir?
Of course. I love talking comic books. This is a great show. Everyone can find me on Twitter at i3bit. And that's pretty much it. I'm on this show. I'm on Xbox Ultimate. Catch me exclusively. I've been bought up by Mav exclusively on Fun Speculation.
It was. I got a good deal. It was pretty cheap, so that's not complaining.
Free.
It was 3 bits.
Yeah, 3 bits. Cost me 3 bits. And the Mellow Philip Matter Space with the amazing Deathlock comic. Where can everybody find you, Florida man?
Yeah, thanks everyone in chat that came out tonight. You guys are awesome. Awesome to have 3-Bit and Jasper and doing the show with all three of you guys. It's always my highlight for my Wednesday. It's like that hump that it's like, hey, you know what?
Hey,
your week's almost over. Let's enjoy. So thank you guys. You can find me. You guys can find me everywhere on social media. Psychonauts8. You can find me on Xbox. You can find me on Twitter, and that's about it, because that's all I use. And then you can find me here every Wednesday, 7:00 on FunPop, and then exactly as 3-Bit said, Friday on Xbox Ultimate, 9:00 with the Grade 8 with everybody, and it's going to be I'm going to like this weekend or this Friday's show.
Why?
The Xbox is buying someone tomorrow.
Yes.
Is something happening, Psycho?
Yes. Caitlin been giving me the
the lowdown on a new game announced. There's been a new game announcement, everybody, that nobody's speaking about. And you're gonna get the scoop on Friday on Xbox Ultimate Podcast from my wife, Caitlin.
Caitlin.
My wife. Hey, and thank you everybody again for tuning in. Appreciate you all. So, shout out to not shut up. Sorry, shout out.
Shut up, everyone.
Shut up.
Shut up, you sons of bitches.
I hear you talking in my head. Shout out to SoulCon. Thank you for being here as well. And tomorrow is PM in the PM with Pong and I, where we're gonna deep dive on a few things. We'll have a blast. I hope you guys can be there. I'll see you then. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Friday, like the guys said, it's on Xbox Ultimate, 9 p.m. Eastern. Saturday's FSP. We missed last week, so FSP will be back this week. Again at 7 p.m. Eastern. And hey, be more game streams coming your way. More of everything coming your way, guys. So appreciate you all being here, and have a good one. Thank you. Hey, Splendiferous. Sorry. What's up, man? I hope you all have a good one. Take it easy.
Don't buy any.
FunPop.